What is up, you guys? It is Parker here with DecoExchange. Y'all, we've got another great tutorial out today, and I just wanted to remind you guys to subscribe to our channel, like the video down below, and at the very least, y'all, leave us a comment and let us know what you think. Hope you enjoy.
Hey everyone, Coach Mel here from Sincerely Creative Mom. Y'all, we are going to make a flower wreath today. Okay, in this kit came a large Unique in the Creek flower board. It came with one full roll of the 10-inch pink poly burlap mesh. It came with one roll of the check fabric mesh. This is actually fabric mesh. And it came with one full roll. Look at this stuff, y'all. It came with one full roll of this really pretty. It's also burlap, poly burlap mesh. But look, it's a window pane. Look how pretty. So I've taken the liberty to cut all of these ahead of time. And we're going to cut just a few pieces, not to bore you. We're going to cut a few pieces together just so that you can see how I actually do the cutting. Y'all, the kit actually also came with a flower center and the pipe cleaners to put this flower together. Okay, so in the end, we're going to end up with one full flower with all the parts that were in the box. I'm going to cut all of my petal mesh, so everything that's going to be a petal, which is going to be the pink and white. I'm going to cut it all 10 inches, and the leaves I cut at 11 inches. I'm sorry, 12 inches. On this first one, I'm just going to go in between two just to get that end ready, and it just singes it. So I'm running the blade right along the bottom, so it's actually touching that tempered glass. And once we get into the design, which is going to be our next part, I'm going to show you or tell you how many we're actually going to use when we review the board. So I'm just going to keep doing this over and over and over and over again. Then one last thing before we get all set up, I'm going to load this board. What I'm just going to do is I'm going to take my zip tie and just put them in over and over and over and over again. I'm right-handed, so I'm always putting the square part on the top, and I'm just doing this over and over and over again. Make sure that it's in every single one. So once you have the whole board filled, you can turn it over, and then you're not going to close it all the way, but you're going to close them just enough so that it's closed, and you can take your mesh and put it right in there and close them up all without having to let go of anything. Okay, so now this is what it looks like. So it's all prepared for me. Now I'm going to go back and just add 4 more to that back, right? And here I just want to show you what I mean. So I'm going to go in between here for my next 4. And so when we create it, you'll see how I'll do the original 4 first so that you can make up your you can make up your own mind and make your decision. I just really felt like it needed more. We're going to use our pink first, and we're going to do the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. I'm just going to bring this corner up to that corner, and then all we're going to do is squish up the center. I always keep that point sticking out. I don't know why I do it, it's just a habit. And then I'm going to bend it so that I have a little tiny piece here. It's about my thumbprint, and then I'm going to use that to just look how easy this is. Just slide it under. Okay, just my thumbprint part. And then I'm gonna tighten my zip ties. I'm trying to be very gentle with this on purpose. I just did all that cutting with that wood burner. I don't want to be reckless with it. I want to make sure that it stays, as intact as possible. I'm trying not to make it fray on purpose, right? Trying to make it stay real perfect. So what I did, just to make it easy, I put all of those cut pieces in very carefully in one big roll, just for sake of room on my table. So if you don't have to do that, I wouldn't suggest you do. It was just for sake of room on my table while we're doing a video. I'm just going to cut these off. So we're going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to go corner to corner. Now this end is going to look a little messier, just simply from the nature of the actual mesh and the way it is. This end is going to look messier, but we're going to put 2 layers in here, so it's going to end up looking really, I love this stuff. It's so pretty. This mesh, if you cut it right and put it in, like if you still use the wood burning tool so that it really doesn't fray all over the place, it looks so pretty, like in Easter wreaths. If you've ever done one of these wreaths without wood burning the end, you'll notice the difference right away. By now, and I actually have a sample kind of at my feet, so I'm going to show you at the end, but by now, this whole layer, I would be picking, you know, pulling these pieces. See, it's curved here, and that singe is keeping that last little layer right where it's supposed to be. Okay, so there's 16 pink around the outside, right? The first layer of the pink and white was 8. The second layer of the pink and white was 8, so there's 16. Okay, now we're going to add another 6. That's 40 pieces total. Okay, 40 pieces total. I'm going to go right back to the pink and do the exact same thing, the exact same scrunch. And I'm going to go to the original 4 spots. I don't know what else you want to call them. The original 4 spots. Okay, so see, if I use my center here right now, which again, the center came with the, you know, piece. If I use that, I don't think that there's too much of a gap here, right, in between. I personally, I don't like that. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to cut these pieces off. And then I'm going to add my very last 4 pieces. Okay, we're going to now, which we could have done or should have done at the beginning, we're going to add some of these to the outside for some green petals. We're going to bring this pretty girl right to life. So I'm just going to go on this outside here. And I'm going to come to the outside. And then the petal will end up being on the top. You know, it's not going to end up being back here. It's going to end up being underneath here. Okay? But I just wanted you to see where I'm putting them and how I'm putting them on. So these 2 in the center that are close together are for your hanger, which we're going to do while we're still upside down. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that my pointy end ends up on the inside underneath here, just to keep it, you know, that pointy end secured so that no one's touching it, right? So I just put from the outside, I put those pipe cleaners in. I'm going to pull it in a little bit, and I'm going to crisscross. So I'm just going to tie these together and make it so that it doesn't move. I'm going to wind it and then wind it. That way, when I pull it through here, that pointy end is on the inside, and I don't have to worry about somebody touching it by accident. And then here's their hanger. And so now we're just going to use this green. Remember, this green is not poly burlap mesh, which the rest of this is poly burlap mesh. This is actually check fabric mesh. We still use that wood burning tool to cut it, right? We still use that wood burning tool because we wanted that end to stay very nice and crisp. So these are all 10 inches, okay? This is 12 inches. So it is not going to line up perfectly, and that is quite all right. And this is a beautiful, bright green, and it's going to brighten up this design perfectly. So again, I'm going to go corner to corner. These are not going to line up the way, you know, they're not going to be perfect, and that is okay. So I'm doing the exact same thing. Okay, a little thumbprint on the outside here. And I'm going to look for those pipe cleaners, or those, sorry, not the pipe cleaners, those zip ties. And I'm going to zip tie these beauties in. I cut these 12 inches. You do not have to cut them 12 inches. I personally like to see them come out further. 11 inches, I think, was the survey from last night's live. But I like to see them out further. Look how pretty this is. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. Okay, so you could glue this right down in there, which, holy cow, that's adorable. I'm going to actually add, I'm going to do something a little extra. Remember I said that my pipe cleaner, or this glue gun was warming up. So I'm going to add a line of glue to the back. And I'm going to add my pipe cleaner right on top of it. And then I'm going to add some more glue. And then add this on top just as an extra. And then for extra security, I added 2 of those U-pins. I cut them so they're a little shorter, put a little glue on that. That way, this is not going to come away from the actual foam here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to assess the situation. I'm going to look for 2 of those holes that are very easily accessible. Okay, this looks like 2 of them that have very good openings. So I'm going to put the pipe cleaner 1 through here, pipe cleaner 2 through here, and I'm going to bring it to the back and tighten it back there. Okay, so that's how I'm going to finish this beauty off. Again, if you can't find the centers, there are so many ways to make a center. Y'all be creative. Just really be creative with it. Okay, I'm going to pull that through. I'm going to pull it through kind of tight. I'm going to help push it kind of tight. Hold on to it real tight from the back, from the very back. Here we go. All done. This is a beautiful, beautiful design. You guys, don't forget, this came as a kit. The 1 roll of the pink, 1 roll of the pink and white, 1 roll of the green, the actual board, the center, the other board, which is for roses, and the bag of zip ties, all came from in a kit, ready to go from CoachMelSupplies.com. Y'all, that is my affiliate for DecoExchange. They're doing all sorts of kits this year. Trust me, I helped them pick them out, and I cannot wait for you to see them all. I can't wait for me to see them. And so keep an eye out for that. Y'all, I have a nail appointment. I gotta go. Thanks for hanging out.